me to distribute his money, which is why I'm going to give you this cousinly advice. If you do plan on marrying Teresa, you better make sure she signs an airtight prenup.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy 4th of July to you all and your families. I hope you guys are having a great time and having the best food. I'll be having the best food later on. But you know, Days of Our Lives has been very good to us all the time with the holidays, and they produced the episode today, so I'll be doing an interesting episode recap today. Today was 9 out of 10 for me. Great episode, lots of fireworks, if you know what I mean in terms of the drama. So yeah, so let's get into it. So we see Xander and Sarah, right? So Sarah is just looking through the invitations and Xander is just working out, looking good as always. So she said that Bonnie and Justin RSVP'd. So he said, anything from my mom? And she said no. So he's surprised, you know, and she said, be grateful because Bonnie forgave you for what you put her through abducting her, right? So it's like, you're not gonna stop thinking about that. And she said she's sorry about it because she also has made mistakes, and you know, they move past it, right? So then we go over to Bonnie and Justin, and they're ringing in the 4th of July together, and they're excited about all the blessings they have had. And you know, Bonnie said not only that, but we're celebrating an engagement, right? So Justin said, oh, Sarah and Xander's, right? So she said yes. So then we see Alex come in, but we'll talk about that later on in the episode recap, right? So we see Tate on the phone, and he's on the phone with obviously Holly, right? So he's just checking in with her, see if she's still on board with the plan of them running away for the summer, right? So she's like, is this going to be something like the prom plan, which really ended badly? And he said, no, just trust me. And she said, okay. So then we go back to Bonnie and Justin, right? And Alex comes in, right? So Alex is like, there's another engagement to celebrate, mine and Teresa, right? We're getting married, right? So Justin, you know, Justin didn't know about this because Bonnie said she wanted Alex to tell him first, right? So he's like, you know, you could be happy for me, you know, or you just really don't like Teresa. And Bonnie's like saying Justin likes Teresa and he agrees, but he doesn't really trust her, and he thinks that as a legal counsel for the family, Alex should have a prenup, right? Ironclad prenup to protect himself and his future heirs. And you know, Alex is defensive at first, you know, but then he also has second thoughts about what Brady also spoke to him about, not trusting Teresa and Teresa being in it for the money. And they're all looking out for him, but again, he's like, no, I don't need any of you guys' advice. I don't need your cousinly advice. So he just shrinks down Justin to size as usual. And Justin is like, cousinly advice, you need to have a prenup, you need to protect yourself, right? Again, Alex is hard-headed about it, but I think he's truly thinking about it, given everybody's thoughts, right? So we see Sarah and Xander at home, right? And they got a knock at the door, and it was Maggie. So Maggie comes in, right, give Xander a check, right, from Victor's fortune as she promised in the past, right? So he's like, I thought you forgot about it. So yes, so she said no, she still wants him to have it, and he was reluctant to really take it because he really wants to earn his own money, and he just refused. At the end of the day, he was noble about it and said, you know what, Maggie, I don't really want it. I don't want, because Victor didn't really consider me as one of his true heirs, so I really don't want it. You know, I don't want to be driven for money. And of course, you know, they all understand. So it's like, you know, just make sure you give us an extravagant gift. And, you know, they both understand, and they were proud of his decision, right? And Xander has truly changed for sure, honestly. So we see Teresa come over to Brady's, right? And she's like, what's up? So Brady said, you know, I know this has been an emotionally difficult time, especially you being abducted, your ordeal with Constantine, right? And she's like, yeah, and then we had that night together and I feel so bad about it. And Brady's like, we're not talking about that. We get that you want to marry Alex and you love him. So she's like, what is this about then? So she says that he said that he made a decision to send Tate to lacrosse camp, and he showed her the brochure, right? So she said, oh, you made a decision without me. And he said, yeah, I just felt like I needed to, and you can be a little bit controlling. And she said, me controlling? And she said, yeah, she agrees. But they come to the conclusion that she's just happy that Tate will be far away from Holly, and that's all she cares about at the end of the day, right? So they're on board with all of this. So Tate's friend Aaron joins him at the pub, right? And Tate begins to tell him about what's going on with the lacrosse camp and that his parents are trying to send him there. However, Aaron is very fond of lacrosse, right? So Tate had this bright idea to convince him to go in his place to the camp, seeing that it will be paid for by his dad. So he's like, it's a win-win. You get to do your sport there, and then you can get recognized by a lot of colleges in the fall. So it would be a great idea. So Aaron is hesitant at first, but then he started warming up to the idea, and he's like, okay, I will go in your place. So looks like they seem to have a plan going, right, for all three of them involved. So we see after Holly had that conversation with Tate on the phone, right, little Miss Rachel comes in, and she's like, Holly's like, hey, I didn't see you there. And she's like, obviously, she's really Kristen's daughter, So Rachel is saying, I'd like to know what kind of plans you have with my brother, right? So Holly's like, we really like each other, and our parents are just not really cool with us doing that. So she was about to go call Holly's mom and tell her about it, or tell her dad, right? So Holly's just begging her not to, and she tried to bribe her with just how she's been there for her and been a good friend to her, and she would also let her have some of her perfume, which kind of sold Rachel to that, right? So Rachel is like, you're bribing me, you want me to not tell them? She's like, no, just be quiet, don't say anything at all. So it looked like Rachel is sold on that idea, right? So when they were bargaining on the whole perfume conversation, right, Brady comes in, and Brady's like, what's this about, right? So then Holly tries to explain to him that they're talking about perfumes, and she wanted to know if Rachel can borrow the perfume, right? Because she said her mom probably wouldn't be fond of the idea. So Brady's like, okay, it's fine. So then he asked Rachel if she's ready to see the fireworks, and she's excited. So she went upstairs for some glow sticks, right? So then it leads us to Holly and Brady to have a conversation, right? So then it's kind of awkward because Brady is sorry about how it went down with them at the prom, but he also is saying that, they weren't trustworthy and they lied to them, right? So that's why things had to be how they had to be, right? So Holly understands, and then he informs her that Tate is going away to lacrosse camp, and she's like, really, she's upset about that because she really is fond of him, right? She likes him a lot. So she understands, even though she already knows that they have a plan cooking up, so it doesn't even matter what Brady says, right? So Brady said hopefully by the time he's done there, they can reevaluate if he and Holly can be together, right? So that's where we left off with them. So we go back to Alex, Justin, and Bonnie, right? And they're talking about Teresa signing the prenup, right? This is when Teresa comes in, and Teresa is like, do I hear prenup? So they said yes. Justin said, yes, that was me. So Alex is saying that it wasn't his idea, but Justin said, yes, that's mine. I'm looking out for the interests of this family as a legal counsel. So she's like, I get it, given my history and track record. And then she tried to appeal to Alex that, she had feelings for him before she knew that he was going to be an heir and inherit all this money, right? So she was trying to appeal to him, but then Alex keep getting flashbacks between him and Brady's previous conversation about Teresa, and Teresa potentially knowing what was in the will before and possibly, just milking it all the way now, right? So then at some point Teresa said, you know what, I'll sign the prenup. So everybody was surprised at this, and Justin was happy about this because he feels as if, this is the right practical move to make, right? So I don't know, folks. I don't know if Teresa. I think Teresa is gonna just try to pull a Constantine and try to tear up that prenup before it even comes to fruition, right? So let's see what happens here. So then we see Aaron, Tate, and Brady and Rachel coming in, right? Because Tate was back on the phone with Holly talking about the plan is a go. That is when Aaron alerted him that his father was coming in, right? So then, Tate said hello to his sister, and then Brady's telling them that he's going to the fireworks, right? So Tate said that he filled in Aaron on the fact that Brady and Teresa wants to ship him to this lacrosse camp, right? At that point, Brady's saying that they're fully on board to doing that, and it's only for your own good, right? So Aaron is saying that it's a great idea about the lacrosse camp because he likes lacrosse, right? So then Brady's like, do you guys want to come with me and Rachel to the fireworks? So Aaron is like, no, his mom has some barbecue, and then Ted is like, I got a pack for this summer thing, right? So that is where we left off with them. So we see Bonnie and Justin, they're still celebrating 4th of July, right? And then Maggie comes in to join the celebration. Also, Maggie tells them that she tried to give Xander a portion of the fortune, however, he didn't take it, right? So they're really slightly surprised about this, right? So we move on to the next scene. So Teresa and Alex are out in the square as well as Brady and Rachel, right? And Teresa says hello to Rachel, all the fireworks, and Rachel is like, they're not as exciting as they were in the past. And then at this point, it becomes awkward when Alex tells Brady that, Teresa is willing to sign a prenup. So that is where Brady and Rachel left off. And that was it with that was it with them in this scene. So Alex and Teresa are there, and Teresa's like, why would you say that to him in front of his daughter, right? And did you guys have a conversation before? What did he say to you? So it's like, doesn't matter, I trust you, and that's that with them. So Brady and Rachel are over there trying to get some ice cream, and then he's like, it's just you and me for this summer, right? And she's like, she's excited, and he's like, will you miss Tate? And she's like, yeah, but Holly will miss him more, right? So that is where we leave off with these two, and on to the next scene, right? So Holly and Tate meet up in a lonely place. I don't know what you call that, off the park, right? So they're just happy about this impending plan, and she's excited that she gets to stay with him for this summer. I don't know how this gonna go off, right? But they started to embrace, right? So then when they started to embrace, we see somebody watching them from the bushes. There's always somebody watching from the bushes, but we don't know who it is, right? So that is it for today's 4th of July Days of Our Lives recap. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to my channel. Comment below your thoughts, and I hope you all are having a great 4th of July. May it be an exciting one. May you enjoy great food. I'm about to do what I do later on and enjoy mine. So yes, have a great one, guys. Bye.